Listen closely, because what I'm about to say will feel uncomfortable at first, almost forbidden, and that's exactly why it matters. The moment you stop chasing affection, approval, and attention, the moment your presence becomes magnetic, and nowhere is this more powerful than in relationships, in desire, in intimacy, and in the quiet space between two people where nothing is said, but everything is felt. Most people never learn this. They talk too much, explain too much, touch too quickly, give too easily, and then wonder why attraction fades, why respect erodes, why passion cools. Stoicism was never about being cold or distant. It was about mastery, mastery of the self, mastery of impulse, mastery of emotion, and mastery of silence. And silence, when paired with self-control, becomes one of the most intimate forces two humans can experience. In the modern world, relationships are loud, texts fly back and forth all day, feelings are dumped without filter. Boundaries are blurred in the name of openness, but desire does not grow in noise. Desire grows in space. Stoic philosophy understood this long before dating apps, long before social media, long before people confused attention with love. The Stoic understands that the strongest connection isn't built by constant reassurance, but by calm presence. When you sit with someone and you don't rush to fill the silence, something ancient awakens. The nervous system settles, the masks fall away, eyes linger a second longer, breathing slows. This is where attraction deepens, not because of what you do, but because of who you are when you do nothing at all. In male and female dynamics, this truth is often misunderstood. Many men are taught to perform, to impress, to pursue endlessly, to prove worth through effort and explanation. Many women are taught to seek validation through attention, words, and emotional intensity. Both end up exhausted. Stoicism cuts through this illusion. It teaches that value is not announced, it is felt. A grounded man does not chase desire. He becomes the environment where desire feels safe to emerge. A grounded woman does not beg for attention. She commands presence through self-respect and emotional steadiness. When two people meet from this place, intimacy becomes slow, deliberate, and powerful. Even a simple touch carries weight. Even a pause becomes electric. There is something deeply sensual about restraint. Not denial, not repression, but conscious control. When you don't immediately reach for someone, when you don't rush to satisfy every urge, you communicate strength. You communicate that your desires do not own you. This is intensely attractive. In intimate moments, the Stoic does not lose awareness. Every movement is intentional, every breath is noticed, every second of anticipation matters. Passion is not dulled by discipline, it is sharpened. The mind stays present, the body follows, and connection deepens because neither person is desperate to escape the moment or consume it too fast. Silence plays a crucial role here. Silence in conversation, silence in conflict, silence in the space before touch. When emotions rise, the untrained react. They argue, accuse, overshare, or withdraw completely. The Stoic pauses. That pause changes everything. It prevents words that can't be taken back. It creates curiosity instead of defensiveness. In relationships, this pause often becomes the difference between tension that destroys and tension that draws two people closer. Suspense is not only for stories and movies. Suspense lives in human connection. It lives in the unanswered look, the unspoken thought, the moment when you could speak but choose awareness instead. Modern culture tells you to express everything immediately. Stoicism asks you to examine whether expression serves wisdom or ego. This is not emotional suppression. It is emotional intelligence. When you learn to sit with your feelings, to feel desire without being controlled by it, to feel anger without unleashing it, you gain a quiet authority. Others feel it instantly. They may not know why they feel calmer around you, more open, more drawn in, but they do. This is especially true in romantic and sexual energy. Desperation repels. Calm confidence attracts. And nothing builds that confidence like knowing you can be still with yourself. Intimacy is not just physical. It begins long before bodies meet. It begins in how you listen, in how you hold eye contact without needing to perform, in how you remain present without distraction. When two people share silence without discomfort, a foundation is laid that physical closeness can rest upon. Touch then becomes meaningful, not frantic, slow hands, measured closeness, awareness of the other person's breathing, energy, and response. Stoicism teaches respect for the moment, and respect for the moment transforms intimacy into something memorable, something grounding, something that lingers long after it ends. Many relationships fail not because of lack of love, but because of lack of self-mastery. People expect partners to regulate their emotions, their insecurities, their fears. Stoicism reverses this expectation. You become responsible for your inner state. When you enter a relationship from this place, you don't cling, control, or collapse when things feel uncertain. You remain steady. That steadiness becomes a safe place for the other person to relax into their own authenticity. Trust grows not from constant reassurance, but from consistency of character, from knowing that you will not be shaken by every emotional wave. Sexual energy, when guided by Stoic awareness, becomes less about release and more about connection. Less about taking and more about presence. You notice subtle shifts, a pause before a kiss, the tension of closeness without rushing. The power of waiting. This kind of intimacy doesn't burn out quickly. It deepens, it evolves. It becomes something both grounding and exciting at the same time. That balance is rare, and that rarity is what makes it so compelling. Conflict, too, changes under Stoic principles. Arguments lose their explosive edge. Silence is used not as punishment, but as space to think. Words are chosen carefully. The goal shifts from winning to understanding. In this environment, even disagreement can feel intimate because both people feel seen rather than attacked. Emotional safety grows. Attraction often grows with it. There is something deeply connecting about knowing you can disagree and still feel secure in the bond. The Stoic approach to relationships is not passive, it is deliberate. It requires courage to remain calm when emotions surge. It requires strength to listen more than you speak. It requires discipline to delay gratification, but the reward is profound. You stop performing for love and start embodying it. You stop chasing desire and start allowing it to unfold naturally. You stop fearing silence and start using it as a bridge. In a world addicted to noise, the quiet person stands out. In a culture obsessed with immediacy, the patient presence becomes unforgettable. When you walk into a room grounded in yourself, not needing approval, not broadcasting insecurity, not rushing to impress, people feel it. In romantic spaces, that feeling becomes attraction. In intimate moments, it becomes trust. In long-term relationships, it becomes stability. Stoicism does not strip life of pleasure. It refines it. It teaches you to savor rather than consume, to connect rather than cling, to desire without desperation, to love without losing yourself. When both partners practice this, intimacy becomes a shared exploration rather than a transaction. Silence becomes a language, presence becomes a gift, and attraction becomes something that grows deeper with time instead of fading. If you take one thing from this, let it be this: your power in relationships does not come from what you say, how much you give, or how intensely you pursue. It comes from your ability to remain centered in yourself, to feel deeply without being ruled by feeling, to desire without losing discipline, to be present without needing to control the outcome. This is Stoic strength. This is quiet confidence, and in relationships it is irresistible. So the next time you feel the urge to fill the silence, to explain yourself too quickly, to reach out for reassurance, pause. Breathe, let the moment breathe with you. Let tension build, let curiosity grow, let connection unfold naturally. In that space something powerful happens, something ancient, something deeply human. And once you experience it, you'll understand why the Stoics valued silence, self-mastery, and presence above all else, not just for peace of mind, but for the deepest, most meaningful connections a human being can have.